programming is EI, educational and informative.
Today on Mystery Hunters. Stonehenge. Giant stones in a huge circle in the English countryside. How did they get here? Legend has it, this ancient ring of stones was built by giants and used by wizards. But there's way more to Stonehenge than just legends.
I crashed a centuries-old ceremony to find out why Stonehenge was built. The sun's coming up. Who were the mysterious people who built it? I'm gonna find out. Can I take a closer look at the bones?
And I chased down the source of Stonehenge's secret powers. Where did these stones really come from? You won't believe the answer.
And Doubting Dave shows you how to make a mini Stonehenge with its own mysterious powers.
This is the biggest,
Coolest.
most mysterious place we've ever been.
And it's gonna take both of us to crack its secrets. This is Mystery Hunters.
We'll be right back with more Mystery Hunters. We now return to Mystery Hunters.
Huge stones piled on top of each other, placed here as if by magic. Who are the ancient people who put this here? This is Stonehenge. No one knows who built it or why. These stones are so huge, it doesn't look like humans could have moved them. Legend has it that these stones were found by giants and put into place with magic by the wizard Merlin. The question is, why? Merlin was a druid wizard. Could the druids have built this place? And why? Merlin may not be around to ask, but I bet there's some modern-day druids I can talk to. This labyrinth was built by druids. Maybe someone here knows the secrets of Stonehenge. But will they be willing to tell me?
This ultralight plane might be the best way to get a look at Stonehenge. Yeah, we really do get a different point of view from up here. It looks like some of it's fallen down. It really looks like it must have been a huge circle once. This is what it probably looked like a couple of thousand years ago. Oh, wait a minute. Do you see those mounds? Can we get closer? Could they have something to do with Stonehenge?
Druids built this labyrinth. Some of them still live here. Maybe they can tell me the secret of Stonehenge. Druids follow an ancient Celtic religion, known for its use of magic and spells.
Hi, Christina.
These are the South Halls. They're a whole druid family. Was that some type of magic spell?
No, that was a prayer. Druids perform rituals throughout the year to honor nature.
What are druids?
Druids were the healers, the wise men. They held the sacred knowledge of the tribe, and they performed the magical rituals throughout the year.
So do you think that the druids built Stonehenge?
No, it was built long before the Druids, about 4,000 years ago.
4,000 years? That means Stonehenge was around way before Merlin and the Druids. It's almost as old as the Egyptian pyramids. What do you think it was made for?
Go there tomorrow, before sunrise. You'll see. You'll see.
Hey, Christina.
Hey, Arya.
Hold on. All right, thanks, Bill. So, did you find any wizards yet?
Not wizards, druids. But it looks like the druids during Merlin's time couldn't have built Stonehenge. It's way older than that.
So we haven't figured out who built it yet.
No, but we might find out why. I'm going back to Stonehenge at dawn. Something wild is supposed to happen. It's almost sunrise. We need to get the cameras into Stonehenge to see what happens. Wow, there are thousands of people here. This is why the South Hall family told me to come here today. This is the one day a year that all these people make the trip out here to Stonehenge in time to see the sunrise. Maybe one of them knows the secret to Stonehenge. What do you think Stonehenge was built for?
It used to be a temple for the gods. Something to do with the weather and the seasons. They would make sacrifices inside it.
Sacrifices?
It is spiritual. It is magnificent for a reason we don't know yet.
It's almost time. The sun's coming up. I'm about to witness the power of Stonehenge.
Stonehenge isn't the only mysterious collection of stones in the world. Just ask 10-year-old Martha Gardside of London, England. She read about some giant rocks that have been amazing people for years. Take a look on the Mystery Illustrator. Dear Doubting Dave, I read that there's a mysterious place called Easter Island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and nobody lives there. But it's covered with hundreds of giant statues. The book said these statues are some sort of ancient calendar. Is this true? Well, Martha, there are more than 800 giant statues on Easter Island, and that's way too many statues to be a calendar as we know it. But could Easter Island be some other kind of calendar? There are 7 statues on the island that face the sunrise on a special day of the year, when both day and night are exactly 12 hours long. Of course, with so many statues on the island, there's probably at least one facing each sunset of the year. So that could be just a coincidence. But there is another kind of calendar it could be. Ancient tablets have been found on the island with writing that might describe how these statues could have been used as a lunar calendar. That's a calendar that's based on the moon instead of the sun. But so far, only 2 lines of the tablets have been translated, so nobody knows for sure. So, Martha, it's possible the statues on Easter Island are some kind of calendar, but they could be a lot of other things, too. Unless we get them to talk, we may never know for sure.
You'll never guess where I just was.
We'll be right back with more Mystery Hunters. We now return to Mystery Hunters.
This mysterious stone circle is almost as old as the Egyptian pyramids. But we still don't know who built it or why. Will this sunrise unlock the mysterious power of Stonehenge? It's almost time. The sun's coming up. The sun is coming up right behind that huge stone that's standing alone out there. That can't be a coincidence. Search Stonehenge sunrise. The sun casts the shadow of that special stone, called the heel stone, right into the center of Stonehenge, only on the longest day of the year, June 21st. Wait a minute, I've seen something like this before. Video Vault Nebra disc. Last year, I investigated a 4,000-year-old disc that turned out to be an ancient calendar. The disc showed exactly where the sun would set at different times of the year. Maybe Stonehenge is some type of huge calendar, like a giant nebra disk. A solar calendar.
Hey, Christina. So what happened?
I think Stonehenge could be some sort of giant solar calendar, but I still don't know who built it. And until I do, I won't be able to prove what Stonehenge was really used for.
I can help you with that. I saw these mounds from the air yesterday. Actually, I'm standing near one right now. Turns out, they're ancient burial mounds. They're all over. And scientists even dug up some skeletons near Stonehenge. Check this out.
Oh, wow. Where are they?
They're at the Wessex Archaeology Lab in Salisbury.
That's not far from here. I'm on it. These might be the bones of one of the people who built Stonehenge.
Hi, Christina.
Hi, Andrew.
I see you've met one of the Boscombe bowmen.
Yeah, it's great. So, why are they called bowmen?
Well, because we found in their graves some stone arrowheads, and this tells us that they were archers or bowmen. You can have a look.
Great. It's sharp.
Yeah,
Can I take a closer look at the bones?
you can, but first of all, you need to put some gloves on.
Okay. So, was this person buried near Stonehenge?
Yes, they were buried in a grave with 6 other people. We think they were family.
How old are these bones?
They date back to 2300 BC.
That's over 4,000 years old. They're the same age as Stonehenge. So the bowmen lived when Stonehenge was being built, and they were buried nearby. Did the bowmen build Stonehenge?
Well, we think they might have been involved in it, yes,
How can you be sure?
by testing their teeth.
You mean pulling out one of his teeth? Can I do that?
No, you can't. But you can test one of his teeth that's already fallen out.
Dr. Jane Evans can tell where people came from by looking at the chemicals in their teeth. So how will testing this prove they built Stonehenge?
Well, it won't prove they built Stonehenge, but we will be able to show whether they came from the same place as the rocks that we used to build Stonehenge.
Where are the rocks in Stonehenge from?
From Wales.
The stones came from Wales. That's a really long way from here. If the Boscombe bowmen also came from Wales and ended up buried under these mounds near Stonehenge, it's possible they brought the rocks to build Stonehenge with them. This tooth from one of the archers might hold the answer. If we can find the same chemicals in the bowman's tooth that are also found in Wales, then we can show that's where this person came from. This machine will tell us.
What normally happens, you get a peek there. According to these results, the bowmen did not grow up in the area of Stonehenge, but they did come from the same place as the first stones in the circle.
So you think the bowmen brought the rocks to England and used them to build Stonehenge?
Exactly.
But where did the rocks come from?
The Preseli Mountains in Wales. I'm sending you a map.
Wow, that's a long way. But how did they ever move them that far without any modern equipment?
Well, check out these photos I found. Some students did an experiment to see if Stonehenge could have been built using just the simple methods they had way back then. They were actually able to move the giant stones with just ropes and muscle power. And then they dragged the stones to a hole in the ground and put a heavy weight on one end to tilt the stone up.
Wow, that still looks like a lot of work. Why didn't they just use rocks that were closer?
Maybe there's something special about those rocks.
Oh, looks like I'm taking a trip to Wales. I've come to the Preseli Mountains in Wales to find the source of the stones used to build Stonehenge. Maybe I can find the answer to Stonehenge's secret here.
Do you have trouble keeping track of the date? Do you find paper calendars too confusing? Then how about building a rock calendar in your own backyard? Just like Stonehenge. All you need is the new Stone-O-Matic 5000. From the people who brought you the Sync-O-Matic 3000 and the Stone-O-Matic 650, you can make it yourself.
Fantastic!
Just get 4 big stones, 52 smaller stones, a wooden stake, a long piece of rope, and a compass.
It's easy.
Stick your stake in the ground. Then tie one end of the rope around the stake. Next, using your compass, find out which way is north. Stretch out your rope in that direction. Then put one of your bigger rocks at the end of the rope.
And I'm not a wizard or a giant.
Do the same thing with the rest of your big rocks, putting them at the eastern, western, and southern points. And you have your very own rock compass.
Now let's turn your rock compass into a rock calendar.
The outer stones at Stonehenge point directly at sunrise on the longest day of the year. So when people stand in the middle of the circle and see the sun rise over those stones, they always know what day it is. You can do the same thing with your stone circle.
Super.
On a clear morning, go out and stand in the middle of your circle and watch where the sun rises. Stretch your rope out in that direction, then write the date on one of your smaller rocks and put it down at the end of your rope. Keep doing this every 7 days for a year. Then you'll have your very own stone calendar. And you'll always know what week it is just by looking at which rock the sun is rising over. There's even a way to make your stone calendar without getting up at sunrise. You can put your rocks down at sunset instead. So don't lose track of the date anymore. Stop struggling with paper calendars and make your Stone-O-Matic 5000 today.
We'll be right back with more Mystery Hunters. We now return to Mystery Hunters.
Who made Stonehenge? And why? It looks like the people who built Stonehenge carried the giant rocks all the way from Wales to England. This is where they brought them from. If there's an answer to Stonehenge, maybe it's here. Wow! These stones do look like the same stones used at Stonehenge. They look like they're growing right out of the ground, ready to use. Look at the size of them. I've arranged to meet archaeologist Polly Groom right here. She's been studying these stones for years.
Oh, hi, Polly.
Hi, you found us then?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, Polly, I don't understand why the bowmen would have brought rocks all the way from this place to Stonehenge.
Because this place was special, it meant something to them. Here in Wales, people have been using these rocks to build their funeral monuments, their tombs, for maybe 2,000 years before Stonehenge is built. So they know these rocks really well. They know their special qualities, that they're very beautiful and they're very, very strong.
They could tell the rocks were strong by hitting them. A cracked rock will make a different sound than one that isn't. I wonder if I can use the same trick on these stones.
Can give it a try.
All right, thanks. Oh, they all make different sounds like notes. That could have seemed like magic to someone 4,000 years ago. Maybe these rocks are special.
Hey, Arya, did you find out anything about the rocks?
Yeah, they almost make music. I'm starting to think that Stonehenge wasn't a calendar after all. Maybe it's a big musical instrument.
Played by who, giants?
They ring when you hit them.
Just because something rings doesn't make it a musical instrument.
But one thing
Rocks are good for is reflecting sound.
in places like ancient Rome, people...
Hold on, someone's beeping through.
Hey, Arya. I've been thinking. Stonehenge used to be a circle, right?
Yeah.
Check this out. In places like ancient Rome and Greece, they built big round stadiums where people would go to see shows and listen to music. They were made in a circle so that the sound bounced off the sides and poured into the middle. That way, it was as loud as possible. Concert halls and stadiums are still built that way today.
So you think Stonehenge is a place where ancient people went to rock out? That's cool. Maybe it's time I put on a little concert on my own. had much electric guitar or loud bass back then. But the people who built Stonehenge could have sang, clapped, chanted, or even used drums. Did they build this circle as some sort of concert hall or theater? That's amazing. Doubting Dave was right. The stones do reflect sound. But when Stonehenge was a full circle, the sound must have been much more powerful. Maybe that is why they built it. Hey, Christina.
Hey, Arya.
You're right. Stonehenge really might be an ancient concert hall.
I'm not so sure.
What?
I was thinking about the mounds and skeletons that were found near Stonehenge. How many concert halls have hundreds of dead people buried around them?
Yeah, you're right. That'd be one seriously creepy concert.
I know a way we can find out more. I heard that people still go to Stonehenge to honor their dead. Meet me there.
One procession all the way to Stonehenge Road. Here we are, at last.
Hi.
Hello. Hi. So do you think these stones are like great big gravestones?
Yeah, the souls of our ancestors, maybe they're trapped in here, beneath the stones, and if you listen really closely, you can hear them calling our names.
Wow.
So why do you think Stonehenge was built?
I think it is built for like a temple and people to pray there.
Well, there are a lot of theories, and we don't know the answer. Perhaps we'll never know the answer.
It looks like we figured out who built Stonehenge. The bowmen from Wales.
But we might never know why. It could have been used as some type of solar calendar.
And it would have been a great place to hold concerts.
Or ceremonies to honor the dead. Either way, Stonehenge is definitely a magical place.
With lots more secrets waiting to be discovered.
Stonehenge is by far the biggest and most famous stone circle in the world, but there are lots of smaller ones scattered all over Europe. In the past, some people thought that wizards could travel magically from one stone circle to another. Remember, things aren't always what they seem.
Hey, Arya. A pen.
Huh?